Hey, this is Antino here. Just to let you know, this is the second part to Two Crazy Scoops Cinematic Universe, the continuation of the last episode. We didn't take any breaks in talking, so we're just going to get right into the conversation. Enjoy.
Yeah, all right, cool. So those were the majority of my questions.
Oh,
I think
okay.
you had some YouTube stuff.
Yeah, now we
or
can shift gears, so to speak.
shift gears a little bit,
Not too much.
and also at the end, I'll share. I asked Chat GPT another question, so maybe we can save that for the end.
Have Chat GPT come up with a question for Marcellus, a philosophical question
Oh, okay.
about movies and
Okay.
the march of time.
All right.
Crazy.
So, for instance, Marcellus, how many times have you heard someone say, whatever, I'm just going to make a YouTube channel and make a ton of money off of it?
I would say not that many, dude, because okay, first off, it's just hard.
Well, let's stop
make
you
it-
real quick.
Yeah.
I've heard that a lot. A lot of
Really?
people seem to think they just like, oh, I'm just going to do that and it's easy.
Okay.
Because they see a lot of people become successful doing it.
Right.
And so it looks simple. So I want you to kind of break down the process of, let's just say, the first month of you doing this, and then maybe 6 months later, and then to where you are now. What's been difficult and what challenges have you had to overcome?
So I told this to Aaron off air. I said, I think the three keys, of YouTube, and I mean, there's more keys, but I think the three keys is you got to be patient. I feel like, you also got to be consistent, and you also got to be happy in what you're doing as well. And, because I haven't really heard people like say that, not to me, about, oh yeah, like YouTube, it's so easy, you can make a lot of money and stuff. But like those people, man, like they like they work their butts off. I mean, they put a lot of time and effort, into growing their channel. And, not all of them have gotten like 1 million subscribers in less than a year. I mean, some people have been doing it for up to 10 years or so. Even when YouTube first started, like people were making videos back then. And they seen like the changes in YouTube, and they tried like other things as well, to gain attraction, to gain a community, right? And it's, I mean, for me, especially like from when we started to where we're at right now, it's honestly, it's not that easy. But like I just kept on doing it, especially when we were trying to get up to, that some goals, that YouTube required of us. Like it was definitely super hard, because now, I mean, recording is like one thing, but editing something is another level, because you can take up a lot of time when you're editing a video, right? Especially like with the videos that we do, it can definitely take up some time, because if you get a warning from YouTube saying like, hey, you can't upload this, then you got to not really start all over again, but you just kind of have to like work with that part, and then you got to re-upload it again, and you're like, okay, great, it's out to the public. But sometimes those videos may not be bangers for you. They might not reach up to the numbers that you want it to be, but you just keep on going with it, right? And I think like mentally though, it could really make it stressful, because you're thinking, oh yeah, like this video for sure is going to make me a lot of money, it's going to get me a lot of views. But sometimes it may not be like that. So like try out something else, try out another like movie or whatever, that you're comfortable in doing. You could definitely like try that out and see what works and what not works, right? So yeah, but like, people do say like, yeah, I'm going to be a YouTuber, and all that stuff. Like, that's cool. But can you be able to, like continue that though? Because it's not a sprint, it's a journey, really. You know what I mean?
So what's your process of uploading videos and making sure you don't get strikes?
My process is I have to make sure that it's like either 10 to 15 seconds long, of certain clips, right? So I look at the clip, like a clip. I'm like, ooh, like, this is a really good clip. Like, in my opinion, I think it's funny. I think it's very informative. I think it's really good content. I'm going to keep that in there. Now, when it comes to like a reaction and stuff, I got to make sure that I'm not having it over like a minute long or so, because you can get a claim or you can get a strike. And, you know, my process in editing that, now sometimes I do cut off like the music and stuff, because that's a huge issue with YouTube for sure. So I just cut off the music, but I keep the video part in though, you know.
Do you upload it to public then when you upload videos?
So not all the time I do. What I do is I stretch out the videos. So meaning like if I edit 3 videos, right, for example, I know there's been some days where there would be like 5 trailers coming out that I'm interested in. I'll do all of it, and I'll, you know, post it on that day because it came out on that day, right? You know, it's fresh on people's minds. Now, if I'm doing like some other recording of like a TV show or a movie, sometimes, you know, we do multiple videos a night, and I would edit those videos, and then I would upload it to YouTube, and I would just put it on private. Right? And so like I'll release this video on Thursday, I'll release this video on Friday, and then I'll release this video on Saturday. And so now what I'm doing is like in between those days where it's not a full video, I'm going to do a short, and I can do more than just 3 videos of shorts. Sometimes, you know, I've been doing it by myself, or I'll just be getting a clip, you know, from one of our videos, and I just like post it on the channel just to like fill it in for that day. And, you know, there will be people that will watch it, you know, and, you know, that's like a part of the, you know, where the consistency is, you know, and just letting your audience know like, hey guys, we're posting a video on this day at this time. You know, hopefully you can be able to watch it in your spare time, you know. So that's pretty much like my whole process when it comes to uploading videos. Like I don't just release it all in just one day. That would just be too overwhelming for people, you know.
Yeah, oversaturation.
Yeah, it is. It can be for sure. So and like it gives like that one particular video like its shine for the day. You know what I mean? Whether it doesn't, you know, reach your expectations or it does, at least it has its shine for the day. But sometimes too, man, over time, like months later, people will, you know, I've seen this where people will like find your video like a few months later or something down the line, and it just shoots up. It's crazy sometimes how the algorithm can be.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's like my whole process when it comes to editing videos, man.
Okay. Yeah, because what I found is I'll upload a video to unlisted, and then if it strikes me, then I can cut it out without getting strikes. Yeah. That's just what I do.
Right.
But what I was wondering is, how many subscribers do you have right now?
I think we're at like, man, 1,940 something right now.
Oh, okay.
Subscribers, yeah.
So you qualify to get paid for that?
Yeah. So you gotta have over 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours from the public.
So are you comfortable telling us how much you make from doing what you do so far?
It just depends, really. So like, you know, sometimes, like I said, around this time it could be slow with, you know, some news or whatever, right? But then like there could be other months where it could be bigger. So, you know, I would just say like my answer would be that it varies.
It varies.
I was going to say, or to ask that question in a different way, let's just say hypothetically,
you get a video that goes up to 20,000 views.
Yeah, let's just say you get a video that gets 20,000 views.
Okay.
How much can a person expect from a video with that much? Maybe that's a better question to ask. And we're talking hypothetically here, so we're not expecting an exact number. But
okay, so if you're just like starting off, right, with just the ads and everything, you don't have any oh my gosh, I forgot the word. Sponsors. You don't have any sponsors. I mean, honestly, it's like it's a decent amount, but it's not like a lot, you know. It's
what's a decent amount? Like,
I don't know, like I would just say it's like pocket change.
What's pocket change?
I'm not gonna say it, you know. I don't want to say like, you know, the amount, you know, that you could possibly get. Like that's what I'm saying.
Why do people avoid the question? Is because a lot of people avoid saying how much they make.
I avoid.
No, we're not. But the question is, we're not in. Sorry, because he did ask, but the question The question is more.
We want to know, Marcellus. Should we just make a YouTube channel?
No, we're not trying to
throw it all away.
No, the question is not how much you make. That's not the right question to ask. The question is just what can one expect if they post a video that gets 100,000 views?
I mean, if you get like 100,000, I mean, I don't really know. Like, I mean, we haven't gotten to that point yet of 100,000, like 100K video.
So we'll have you back when you do, and then
you can answer the question.
And I'll tell you like the analytics and stuff. I'll tell you that stuff, man. The financial stuff. No, I mean, to be honest, bro, like I really don't have like an exact amount for you. Like I just, like I said, it just all depends on how your month is, right? Like the amount of videos that you do, the type of videos that you do, and like it's pretty much like however much really, but like, you know, it's still an accomplishment though, you know, once you get to that point. And then also like when you have like sponsors, then, you know, that's where like your bread and butter is, I feel like.
Yeah, because for this podcast, we make 1 cent per listen.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah. So like I said, man, you know, it just pretty much like all depends, really.
We don't have any sponsors either, though, except for Anchor.
Well, the thing about it is like how like we didn't think that we were gonna get sponsors after we hit like, you know, 1K subs and 4,000 public watch hours. Like you still gotta like grow, you know, in order to have that. Like you really gotta have a following.
Yeah.
In order to have those sponsors. But I mean, yeah, but like another thing too is like, you know, YouTube, it like compared to like all the other social media apps, YouTube still gives you more, right? But you also want to have like a merch store. Sometimes people would have like a second channel as well. And they would, you know, branch out to other platforms too in order to make, you know, some more. So, you know, you got to like branch out to different avenues, you know, especially like, you know, if you really want to take like social media seriously, that's what you do.
Yeah. And that's why we use Anchor, because it gets it to like other like Spotify, Apple Music, and a lot of other. Yeah. So you can't just stick with Spotify unless you're really big.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then people will download it for you.
Right.
But all that to say then, like, what makes your channel different, would you say? Why should someone subscribe to you?
That's a really good question, because obviously, like, there's a lot of people, you know, that would do the same thing, you know, for whatever it could be: video games, reviews, music. I think, you know, what makes us different is just who we are, you know, especially like us, like, you know, showing our faces to the people, expressing ourselves, like our personality, because personalities do make people different. Each of us here in this room are different people, right? But we all like one another, right? We're all friends, right?
Most days, yeah.
Those days. Yeah, I think like that's what makes you so different is like your personality, you know, your it could be like your enthusiasm, you know, or it could be just like, you know, something like from a clip or whatever, and people just love that reaction. You're like, oh yeah, now that I liked, you know, and like, you know, people would subscribe to you. Sometimes it could be like the topics, you know, that you could talk about as well, you know, that makes you different. But I feel like, you know, what makes us different is just because of like our personalities, you know, even though, you know, a lot of people are doing reactions and stuff, what makes us different is like our personalities, how we are, you know, together, Blaze and I, you know, during recordings and things like that, you know, they see the chemistry that we have as well. And, you know, once they see that, you know, they're like, yeah, these two really work well together. That's another thing that makes us different as well, you know, so there are some differences, you know, when it comes to us. And, you know, if you guys do ever check out our channel, you know, feel free to. That would be awesome. You know, and you could see why we enjoy what we love to talk about.
And sorry.
No, go ahead.
What I found is, you know, as different forms of media are produced and way people interact with it is changing, it's hard for some people to make the mental jump from one form of broadcasting, so to speak, to a newer form of broadcasting, which would be YouTube. So someone who grew up in the 80s, for instance, may have known talk show personalities on the radio, but they have a hard time figuring out why anybody would want to watch a reaction to a movie. What do you think, because that really blew up. Do you think the pandemic had anything to do with that? Or do you think, because you always want to show someone a film you like, right?
Right.
And you always like it when you show it to someone and they're like, this was great.
Right.
But it's really hard to find someone who actually likes the movie as much as you do.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that plays a part in your channel, so to speak? Because sometimes you may react a certain way that people want to hear.
Yeah, that's true. But that's another thing too, is like, you know, everybody's going to be different. Not everybody's going to have the same reaction as other people. I mean, for some clips, yeah, you may have the same reaction, you know, but I mean, some people, you know, are just different in that. And, you know, if you don't like it, then I'm sorry, you know, but I'm sorry, you know, but like, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to say?
Well, it's funny because I was talking to a friend of mine who's Aaron's age, but he hasn't really watched that much YouTube videos and stuff.
Right.
And I asked him, I said, you don't really have too much interaction with this form of media. Do you have any questions about it? He had never heard about reaction videos. Okay. Until he eventually was like, you know what? Actually, I like to watch people listen to music that I like. Yeah. And have them go like a blind, just listen. That's a reaction. And see what, yeah. So it's the same thing. You know? That's what's kind of funny about these things is what I'm finding is that people may be opposed to it, but they don't know that it's just a different form of what you've been growing up on. Right.
And even before the pandemic, man, like that reaction started like 2010s maybe. Like it, you know, it like pandemic probably like peaked it, but people were definitely doing it like before. And so nowadays, like especially like during the pandemic, it's like that's when we started. Like and we just, you know, been doing it ever since. Like a lot of people are doing like more channels and things like that, you know, which is awesome. And then people are going to TikTok now, you know, and look, listen, I like TikTok. I really do. Sometimes like, you know, we may post on there and stuff, but people like they grow, you know, from there as well because it's short content as well. It's 60 seconds or less. Now they increased it to like 5 minutes or something, you know, but like, you know, you can just keep on scrolling and you watch like 50 videos on TikTok or something like that. And, you know, it's all short and it's entertaining. It could be funny. You know, it's something that you're really interested in. So yeah, man, I mean, like it's cool, you know, but, yeah, I know some people, man, you know, they may not, obviously, like you guys know, you've seen some of our videos and you've seen the comment section, especially for Dune, you know, especially for that. So, but go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm thankful we don't have a comment section for this podcast.
Right. Oh, no, yeah.
But it's, you know,
but since you brought up Dune really quickly, my question is, how do you deal when you get negative responses to a video that you may do? And do you think any of the criticism was valid, constructive? Like, did you get any constructive criticism, or did you think it was mostly just haters just hating on your channel?
I think that you know, honestly, with that particular video, I didn't think that we got a lot of constructive criticism, to be honest with you. At least, you know, that's what I think. So I look back at that video actually, and I saw like, you know, like if I was in that person's shoes and I saw, you know, what they saw, then I was like, okay, this is something that, you know, I have to, you know, fix, right? So, you know, I was like, okay, I have to like just fix my editing skills, you know, when it comes to that. Because at that time, like I was still learning, like, you know, how to edit and things like that. So I actually thought, honestly, that was a really good learning lesson for me. And, you know, when Dune 2 comes out, you know, that would be a redemption moment for us, hopefully.
Boss music.
Yeah, right? It would be like a boss move for us. So, yeah, I mean, but sometimes, you know, there's going to be haters out there. And sometimes they come out of nowhere, too, you know? I'm like, where did you come from, right? And really, like, that was our first video where we got, like, a lot of, like, you know, negative comments. And, you know, it kind of did affect me. I don't know if it affected Blaze. I mean, it probably did affect Blaze. But, like, it you know, we were definitely talking about it, and we were, like, you know, we were kind of laughing at the same time, too, as we were reading it. You know, we're just like, bro, this is so fun. But we didn't want to, like, talk back, you know what I'm saying, through the comment section. We didn't want to talk back at all. You know, we were just like, we'll just let it be. We move on. And we didn't lose any subscribers, especially when, like, that video came out, which was awesome, you know. Sure, there was a lot of dislikes, but I'm like, whatever. It's just one video, you know. And yes, like, the more videos that we put out, there might be, you know, some haters, but I'm just like, Now I'm just like, whatever, you know, like I block it. I don't, I try not to read it. I try not to get it into me. I'm going to continue to move on and, just have fun with it. You know what I mean? Because like, man, I've definitely like have seen a lot of people like just blow up a lot of negative comments on like a specific person, and they're just not the same anymore. You know, so it's definitely sucks to see that. So for the haters and things like that, haters gonna hate, but like, I block it though.
Yeah. Don't really have to engage too much with that.
But sometimes, like having a comment section is actually like really good, because like that way you can be able to interact with your fans. That's why, you want to try to like build your community, talk to them, you know what I mean? Because they might not even get a chance. Like they could like comment on another person's video, but they may not respond to them, or they may not leave a heart, on their comments or a like, right? And so, I try to do the best I can to like leave a heart on a comment, or maybe I could respond, just to like get involved with the community.
Yeah, I responded to one of you guys' videos because it was muted, and I didn't think you guys knew.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because I was like, the video's muted, and then you guys took it down.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember that one. Yeah, that was like, but see, that's another thing too. Is like, oh man, that was my bad. I didn't realize that I muted it on Premiere Pro. I didn't know that. I think I was doing something. I was doing something. I was probably cutting something, and then I wanted to like save it for a later time and post it to another platform. That's probably what I was doing, The
issue I had, because thanks Tom, by the way, he texted me and he was like, he's like, at some parts when I was listening to this, it got really loud and then really quiet. And it's because of my editing. I screwed up the audio in the editing. I was like, oh, thanks for telling me, because it's in the next one. Yeah. I'm going to make sure that when I split this stuff, the levels are all safe.
And that's another thing that happened too. Like I remember we did one video and they were like, oh, the audio for the movie or TV show that we were watching, it's way too low. And then I was like, oh, okay, thank you. Like, I'll bump it up, I'll raise it. So see, that to me, that's constructive criticism.
Yeah.
That's it right there.
Not your trash.
Yeah.
Get good.
Yeah.
No, that's pretty cool. That's good to see how you react to it. I mean, I think that's important, especially if you want to keep doing it and not.
Yeah, because it only gets worse from here.
True. Yeah. Whenever I leave comments, I always try to be positive if I can, and if I do have something constructive, I will say it. But I'm always nice about it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. It's cool to be able to interact with creators, I think.
Yeah.
And there's a few tech channels I follow that are smaller. And because of that, I can interact with the creators a little bit more.
Right.
And it's,
Right.
And I mean, I think it's a cool feature. So,
oh, yeah. For sure.
Unfortunately, people do abuse it, but it's good that you have a level head and you can just, just dust it off.
I know. Yeah. Just whatever, just dust it off the shoulder, So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as we're winding down, did you have that?
So, Chat GPT did come up with some philosophical questions for you. I asked it 3. Do you want me to ask all 3, or do you just want one? Or
we'll just see where it goes.
Okay.
Is a toilet a whirlpool?
No. So
is water wet?
Just for the record, what I typed in was, I need a philosophical question to ask a YouTuber who reviews movies. That's what I put into there.
Okay.
So the first thing it said is, what do you believe is the purpose of film? And how do you think it reflects or shapes our understanding of the human experience?
I gotta see this question again, man, because like that was really good, actually. Hold on, let me see.
Man, we have terrible questions. We need AI all the time.
I know.
I'm like, so Marcellus, you review films, correct?
Right. He said he asked for philosophical.
No, so that is a philosophical question.
What do you believe is the purpose of film? And how do you think it reflects or shapes our understanding of the human experience? So let's start with the first part. What do you believe is the purpose of film? Let's start with that.
The purpose of film is for us as human beings to be entertained, really. I think that's like one of the ultimate purposes of film, because like, I mean, like, I don't know what we could do without it, Like, obviously back in those days, like there was no such thing as movies, you know, there was plays, there was like theater and everything, but like going to a theater, man, it's definitely like, you know, one of the coolest experience, you know, that you could ever have. And it, you know, and especially like I don't know, like when the first Jurassic Park movie came out, you know, when it like really, really first came out, like a lot of people went to go see it. You know, they're like, oh my gosh, like dinosaurs, you know, obviously we don't see dinosaurs today, but they're just like, oh man, like this is really cool, you know. Or then how about like, you know, some characters that, you know, you may have watched like back in the day, or you read some comics like back in the day, and then they, you know, turn into a movie, and it's like, wow, you know, it's just, like the purpose of film is just to, you know, for people to, you know, to get out of, you know, the world, because like, you know, obviously like the world can be like, you know, stressful, you know, you can be sad, you can be depressed, and then you watch a film and it just makes you happy, you know. I think that's why it gets you in your comfort zone pretty much. And so like, and it just makes you like so happy. That's why like I do this, you know, because like whenever I watch a movie or TV show, I feel happy about it. You know what I mean? It's something that I love to do. I think that's the purpose of film. It's just for us, you know, to be entertained, and it's just like pretty much like a stress-free kind of thing, I would say. And then what was the next question about the human experience? What was that one?
How do you think it reflects or shapes our understanding of the human experience?
Yeah, another good question as well. You know, I feel like, you know, we've all been in like, you know, theaters where like a big movie would come out, and, you know, you haven't really like seen those people before, obviously, you know, except for the group that you may be with. And, you know, you all just come together, you know, and you just like watch like one film, you know, whether you like it or not, but like all of you were there, you know, and you may talk about it afterwards. You know, I think it just goes to show like, you know, you may have like, you know, the same things, you know, that you may like that you never know of. And with that, you know, you could just be able to talk to people and just have like a normal conversation, like, you know, no fighting or things like that, you know. And you know, like some movies can be realistic, you know, most of the times it's just, you know, it's just whatever. But, you know, even another thing too is like, I'm even thinking like Pixar, for example, their movies are like a lot of fun to watch, but there's always like a moral to it, you know. And I know like my mom, she would always ask me, okay, so what did you learn from this movie? And I was like, well, I had a lot of fun. She's like, no, what did you learn from it? And then so I'll be like, well, you should be able to treat each other, you know, the same as like you want to be treated, like just for example, right? And she'd be like, yeah, exactly. So you can learn something from those movies, you know what I mean? And it can help you to like just to be a better person, you know. And yeah, if we all just had like good morals, man, you know, like nothing wicked would happen.
So what do you think we can learn from the Barbie movie?
You know, I think I think that what we can learn.
That'll wrap it up for today, guys. We gotta go.
Well, I guess I think like that's another thing too, is like we'll just have to wait and see when the full movie comes out. Well, there's a moral to it.
Oh,
bro.
I'm sure there will.
Yeah. You know, like I don't really have a solid answer because I've just seen like just a 30-second clip. Really.
I know.
I know you were messing around, bro. I know you were joking, but yeah, no, that's funny though. But yeah, man, you know, I feel like there is something that you can definitely learn from films, and it could just help people out.
I have an answer for this question too, but
yeah.
I'm just really quickly, let's go around real quickly. Levi, I want to ask you this question. What do you believe is the purpose of film, and how do you think it reflects or shapes our understanding of the human experience?
So purpose of film, like you said, I think it ultimately comes down to entertainment is the purpose behind it. But the second part of it, I was trying to think about this, and I think just how it shapes our experience. We would just spend a bunch of time talking about movies, right? They have a big effect on, they can shape who we become, what our interests are. Something I like is anyone can make film as an expression of art or expression of their own experience, so we can experience other people's experiences, right, secondhand. And so I think it just opens up to more experiences for ourselves, and you know, you have those movies you love that kind of shape who you are. So
yeah,
that's what I think.
I agree. And the funny thing about film, because it uses the word film here on purpose, because a film, quote unquote film or a video can be for entertainment purposes, but it can also be educational. Mm-hmm. And I know you do those for your gym, for CrossFit. You know, you've made videos explaining how to do certain moves, correct, you know, posture, all of that stuff. And I mean, you're learning. So
are those films?
It is film,
go
though.
for awards.
It's an educational film, right?
And even too, like in school, they would have, you know, certain movies for the certain, you know, subject, you know, that they may be able to talk about, you know, and that could definitely shape like the human experience too.
Yeah. So I guess that could be a philosophical question then. Are those educational videos considered film?
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
I think those are like the highest form of film.
I agree.
It looks like he's using no effort, but really there's something to it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree completely. Mm-hmm. I'm also wearing my Built by Levi t-shirt right now. And Tino, any thoughts? Or
I think film is supposed to put you in the shoes of someone else and experience what they're going through. Some films can help you see a course of action that people have taken that you should avoid, or a course of action that a group of individuals have taken. I think when I was taking humanities class in 8th grade, they focused on some of the most atrocious things that have happened in humans' history. And some of the films, well, not, you know, we didn't have to watch too many, but some of them, you could see the backdrop of it and how humans have treated each other, and it's something that you don't want to portray in your life. But at the same time, it can also make you terrified of individuals. So,
right, yeah.
But yeah, I think it can be something that's supposed to capture the experiences that people have dealt with. That's something you may never even have to deal with. I feel like books kind of started that. But if there's a movie that's too gruesome to watch, then I would suggest reading the book, because there's a book about like Hiroshima, the dropping of the atomic bomb, which is a really tough subject to conquer. But when you read about that and you see what someone had to go through, you kind of understand what those people went through, and you kind of have some sympathy for them. Whereas you may not be taught that sort of thing in school. You can learn a little bit about history from other cultures.
Yeah, and I agree with the overall, pretty much what you all said. I think the purpose of film is just to tell a story and make it a visual way to understand it. And it's funny because one of my favorite movies, even though it's not, yes, I understand it's a little sad, but one of my favorite movies is A Beautiful Mind. And the reason why I like that movie is because it gives you a visual portrayal of what it's like for somebody who may go through
something like that. Yeah. And I think it can also transport you to a different time. If you watch a movie from the 80s, you kind of get a gist of what the high school experience was in the 80s for some people.
Yes, you do.
If you watch a movie from the 90s, you're like, oh, jeez.
Yeah, exactly.
And you watch, stuff from the 70s, you got hippies and all that stuff, and it's just, it's funny.
Right.
I'd hate to see what the movies look like 10, 20 years from now today.
Yeah. All right. So I figured unless there's any other points. All
right. Are you okay to keep going, or you just want to stop here?
We can keep going.
Yeah, I want to hear what the other questions are, because I like these ones.
Yeah, these are good.
Oh, the questions. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the other question was, how do you think the film industry's portrayal of certain characters or themes affects our societal norms and values?
Dude.
You said philosophical, so that's what it's giving you. I can ask it for a funny question to ask.
I don't know.
And it also generated a poem too that I would like to read at the end.
I just have one thing to say.
Go ahead.
Just the violence that has occurred because of certain character portrayals. I can think of like Batman with the Joker.
Okay.
That was a bad thing to society.
Okay, so that's a good question then.
There's books that have inspired people to kill other people. I think, what is it? Catcher in the Rye inspired the guy to shoot John Lennon. So it's not like that hasn't happened before, but.
Okay, but my question is, when it comes to like movie violence, right? Do you think the effect that, like, for example,
is that your neighbor's toilet?
Possibly, yes.
It's a whirlpool.
Going down the drain. It did get kind of dark real quick.
Sorry.
When you mentioned the book. But anyway, I guess a good question would be is, does the type of violence that you saw in the Batman movies from the 90s versus what you saw in, let's just say, like you said, the Joker movie. Do you think there's
No,
a
no,
difference?
I mean the Batman, the
Or
Dark Knight Rises.
The Dark Knight. Okay, the Dark Knight. Do you think the violence that's in both movies, from that one versus the Tim Burton Batmans, for example, or the ones from the 90s, the one we were talking about that was trash with George Clooney, do you think does it have the same effect on people? Because both of them are considered
I feel that any form of art,
violent, right?
Any form of art can inspire violence. I mean, the Beatles wrote Helter Skelter, and that did not turn out well for certain individuals.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, of course, at that time, that kind of rock was violent.
Okay.
The Who was a very violent rock band at the time. Now it's pretty tame. I mean, you used to have heavy metal, and the heavy metal back in the 90s is nothing compared to even 10 years ago.
Right. Okay.
So I think that any form of media that portrays some form of violence can inspire violence.
Even if it's quote unquote unrealistic.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of people aren't in their right minds.
Mm-hmm.
And an unrealistic portrayal of something may inspire not so great stuff. Not that the Beatles were telling people to kill people, but that guy, he interpreted it as something not being so great.
But is that the fault of the artist that someone misinterpreted it?
No, I mean, it's not, but it just did. It's like if this podcast inspired something like that, is that our fault? I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't have focused on so much negativity, but.
Yeah, that's true. The other question it asks is, as far as film being a form of artistic expression, how do you think it differs from other forms of art, such as literature or music? How does film differ from other forms of art, such as literature or music?
That's another good question. I think what makes it so different is like, people can learn from literature. They can learn from reading something. For me, I'm more of a visual learner. So I watch a film or something, or I watch a video, I can, be able to understand it.
Mm-hmm.
And then some people are just really good at like really listening, and that's where like music comes. So I think that's what makes it different is like, the way of how you may learn something is like, different for a lot of people, because there may be somebody that just may not learn something, from a film, mm-hmm. or there's people that may not learn just from reading something, or from literature. So yeah, I think that's what makes it different.
And I think visual learning for a lot of people is better nowadays. And some people are opposed to that. They think you need to read a book. But I mean, some of the attitudes and concepts that you can portray in film are kind of hard to express in literature because it's based upon your own imagination and not someone giving you an interpretation of exactly what's going on.
Yeah, that's true.
But I do think books are good still because you can use your imagination.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And there's been movies that have been portrayed by books,
Yeah.
And sometimes, they may change things, but yeah.
I think something that I like about movies versus books is like, the director or whoever put it together, you get their exact vision presented in front of you. Like a lot of things in a book are open to interpretation. It can be described, but when you see a scene the way that whoever created it wants you to see it, that's something that you can't really get in other mediums, I think.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think all three have their place, and they're all different. I just recently listened to an audio story on Audible, and it told a hilarious story, and it uses sound effects, but everything is in your mind, and it was very entertaining. And then when I read a book, my imagination paints a certain picture, and when I've read books and then saw a movie later on, I can see why people are disappointed a lot of times because I don't know, I feel like your own imagination probably trumps anything that someone else can create. That's my opinion.
Something I'll tell you, at a certain point in my life, I was so busy that I was not really watching TV or movies because I just didn't have the time. But whenever I would, even the stupidest of movies would be just so intense.
Mm-hmm.
But I think continuously exposing yourself to that, it kind of lessens it. So it's almost like you need something more powerful.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I will say, if you go away from it for like a month or two, when you watch a film, it becomes a lot more of an experience. Yeah. And then books kind of mean a little more too.
Right.
So it's kind of like it changes. But I do think every form is good because
if
you can't see, then obviously reading like with Braille is a lot.
Well, Yeah, that's true.
better, so everyone gets a little chance. And then audiobooks too.
Right.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah. So yeah, all three definitely have their place.
But I do think books are better than movies, but I'll just stop there.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree at all. Yeah. Well, no, I think everything has its place.
Everything has its pros and cons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's there for a reason.
Yeah. And one last point about movies I was going to say is I think there is a big difference to movies today and what's popular. We talked about a lot of superhero films earlier. We talked about a lot of movies like that, which are very popular now. But I kind of feel like the movies that told stories are not as common anymore, at least popular films. Some of my favorite movies are movies that, and I probably talked to probably all of you all about this at some point maybe, but movies, they used to be, a lot of good movies used to come out that would require you to pay close attention to everything that's happening in the film. You couldn't turn away, you couldn't blink, or you would miss something and you would you wouldn't be able to put the story together. A good example, and this again, this is just an example since we were talking about Harrison Ford earlier, was The Fugitive, which I don't know if you ever saw that movie or not.
I never.
From the
I don't
90s.
I think I've seen like clips of it, but I don't remember seeing the full thing. But I know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah, you have to focus completely in order to understand. So anyway, those types of movies I feel like are missing. We don't have as many of those as we used to. We used to seem like a lot of the top box office hits were, you could put out a big box office movie and it would have that quality about it. Like you have to pay attention.
I think that they might still exist. They just don't get promoted as much because other movies will make you like a ton more money.
Correct. No, and I agree with that. I'm not saying that they don't exist. You're right.
Like somehow the Battleship movie got made.
Well,
like somehow out of all the great stories to tell, Battleship made it to the big screen.
I know. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. I don't know what to say about that.
Battleship.
But it's just an observation.
Yeah,
it's just an observation. But you're right; those movies do exist, but they're few and further in between. I feel like, and they don't get the promotion that they used to.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's just my thing. Oh.
So, Marcellus, would you be able to produce the Two Crazy Scoops film?
What would it even be about?
It would basically. You know that meme where Homer is choking Bart? That's what it would be.
So who's choking who?
Just kidding.
Yeah, no.
We were just messing
Yeah.
I was for real. That's the whole movie.
Oh,
no,
man.
we did come up with a movie concept that I thought was kind
But
of
then I was
funny.
like, this is too dark. It's funny, but it's like a dark comedy. And I was like,
We won't make it, but
maybe
we'll
not for the
figure-
audience that we have.
So can I ask you guys a question? I mean, I know y'all are hosting this, but like, can I ask you guys a
Ask
question?
away, man.
Yeah.
Of course.
How are you guys liking the YouTube transition? I know I've noticed that y'all been posting videos on YouTube. Have y'all been enjoying it? Anybody can go.
Aaron, you can go first.
No, you okay? I do, and there are a lot of aspects of it I enjoy because I can, as you saw, like even with this episode, there's certain aspects of it that require a visual element,
Right.
like when I'm showing off artwork or something like that.
Yeah.
and so I wasn't.
It's a lot easier
It's
to
easier.
find content for that because, I mean, you're just reacting to this or that, you know, that art that you created. A video. We had a little video of the Vanilla Ice guy.
Oh yeah,
Ding,
exactly.
ding, ding, ding.
Right, and so certain things are easier to show versus just to explain or do. So from that aspect, I do like the video. But Antino takes care of the setup for the video, so I don't know what he feels about it. That's what I'm curious.
In
to
an
know.
ideal world, we would just set up and never tear it down. But we have to set up and tear it down every time. Just because I like to keep, Aaron likes to simplify it. I like it to look what I call quote unquote nice. So I enjoy the learning process of learning OBS, and I also like video editing a lot. And it's actually unlocked my desire to start making films again, like just small films, home films.
Yeah.
Just was like just for me.
Yeah.
And I like it, but I also, we're not more so trying to do this for money. We're just doing it for fun, and I think that's a new way to like have fun with it. That's why I haven't really been posting some of the audio only episodes on YouTube yet, because it's a little bit more work.
Yeah, no, and like it's totally cool, you know, if you're, you know, doing it for the monetization or if you're doing it for fun. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing really wrong with both.
Yeah, and we get some good feedback. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel that the people that listen to it enjoy it.
Right, for sure. And you know, that's definitely, you know, what you want, for sure.
And during pandemic, I wanted to do something that was productive somewhat and would be entertaining.
You're right.
That's true. We started posting, or we started recording regularly right before the pandemic. I think we started in the fall of 2019 when we started posting regularly.
December, yeah.
Oh, it was December. Okay, well, there you have it. So we did
December.
Okay.
So January, February.
And then in March, we kind of lost our steam because of the pandemic.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I had to switch jobs and all that stuff. And then
we picked it right back up and started doing it on Zoom.
Yeah.
And so we started it at a good time, and during the pandemic, it kept us busy.
But I wasn't truly happy with the show until like season 3.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I do agree with that. Season 3 was a turning point.
Yeah, it was a turning point.
So what made it a turning point?
Because me and Aaron could just talk without having to have a guest.
Yeah.
And it made it more enjoyable because we were actually more having fun, as opposed to initially it was nerve-wracking because you don't know what you're going to ask the people. You don't know what they're going to say, and you don't know if the question you're going to ask is actually one that's going to promote a discussion, or if it's just going to be like shot down instantly after you ask it.
That's true.
Which to me, that kind of added a little bit of excitement to having a guest, because it is true you don't know what they're going to say.
Yeah.
But for me, it was kind of exciting. That aspect was exciting.
Yeah.
But for season 3, like you said, it was just the two of us, so we didn't have to worry about that. He only had to worry about what I was going to say.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I noticed that, like, especially when we were first starting, we started during the pandemic as well, you know, just to give us something, you know, busy to do. And then we would have guests that would come on. Lately, we haven't really been doing it, you know, for some reasons. It's not that, you know, the guests are bad or anything, you know, it's just like, you know, the timing, you know, in their schedules, you know, we're not, it's not really like in sync, you know. I would like to have them for sure back on, you know. It's just we got to figure out like a time in the day, you know, to really do it. But for the like lately, you know, it's just been, you know, Blaze and I, but and it's still fun, you know what I mean? Like and I like being with him, you know what I mean, and doing videos and stuff like that. But before, you know, we would have a guest on, like we, you know, Nathan and I, we would like have kind of like, you know, kind of like, you know, like I don't want to say rules, but you know, just to give them like a heads up, like, hey, we're just giving you guys a warning. So here's other things, you know, that we want, right? Mm-hmm. And then, you know, if we like them, then hey, we like them, so we have them back on. And then we have them back on again. But then I don't even tell them like, you know, the rules or like give them like a warning and stuff like that, because I trust them. You know, I know that like they're not really going to say anything ridiculous or do anything ridiculous. So yeah, that's what we did with our guests. You know, we had like a warning. You know what I mean? And
wait, so the fact that you didn't have us back on again means you didn't really like us the first time, right?
And he gave us a warning too.
Yeah, he did.
I did. You know, because
I didn't like your rules either. Just so you know.
Yeah, I can barely get him to listen to any of my rules. Now I'm just like, Aaron, I'll just edit it. We're never going live ever.
Yeah. No, but like we definitely loved having you guys on though. Like it was so cool, you know, to have like another podcast, you know, like access, you know, to be on the show. And this is actually like my first ever in-person podcast like ever, bro.
Wow.
Like, I mean, because we started on Zoom and, you know, Blaze and I, we live like 45 minutes away from each other. So I'm not going to drive to his house all the time, you know, especially doing like multiple videos like a day. Like I'll rather just be home recording. You know what I mean? And so like that's been working out for sure. But I feel like, you know, like if we ever like reach a goal, you know, and like we could do a live stream like in person. I like that would be super cool to do, you know. So but this yeah. But anyways, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say if schedules work out and maybe we can do something, it would be cool to actually have the sidekicks in person. So maybe we could record an episode together somewhere.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe meet halfway, or maybe the Crazy Scoops go to Phoenix,
Yeah.
and record there.
I know, right?
And we do a live episode or something.
Yeah, that would be
or
nice.
Or the sidekicks can come back to Tucson.
Yeah, or yeah, or just do both.
Or do both. Yeah.
2 crazy sidekicks or 4 crazy sidekicks.
Yeah. 4 crazy sidekicks.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just something like that, But yeah, I mean, YouTube, for sure, like it has its, ups and downs, right? I mean, there are some things that I wish YouTube could definitely do, but like still, I didn't think that we were going to get to this point like where we're at right now. It's like I said, we just had a lot of fun with it. You know what I mean? It's something that we enjoy, and man, I'm looking forward to see like what our channel can do. I'm looking forward to see like what your channel could do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think video negatively affected the podcast because when we set it up, me and Aaron were more so looking at the screen of ourselves as opposed to looking at each other. Yeah. So it made the conversation a little unnatural.
Oh,
but
okay.
I think that's something that we can easily fix.
We did on the last one, and it worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
But whenever you transition from doing one thing to another, there's going to be some kinks you got to iron out.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Right. For sure. I got a question for Levi. Bro, would you do a podcast or no? Like have your own podcast?
Would I have my own?
Yeah, would you have your own?
Oh. Yeah, if I could figure out something I liked enough to do, yeah.
Weightlifting.
Wait, hold up. So why wouldn't you do like a CrossFit podcast and do like an episode a month?
Yeah,
you can do it as often. No, you can do it as often as you want. But I'm
like
just
talking
saying
that much. I'm more of a listener. I listen to a lot. I listen to a ton of different podcasts.
Yeah,
so.
But do you know how much people could benefit from that though?
Yeah,
because I listen to a couple of health podcasts.
I think there's just already a lot out there.
There is, but they don't have Levi's stamp of approval.
Dude. And then you tell them,
I'm more in person. When I'm coaching. That's my live podcast.
Okay, for all the people that know Levi and goes to the gym, have your phone out, record him, right, and then post it on Spotify, TikTok,
exactly.
And then everybody would be like, Levi, get a podcast.
No, but I like it. Like this is is cool, But I just don't think. I'm more of a listener than a speaker,
it's not.
I think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, and it's not for everybody, man. Like I didn't think that I was gonna do a podcast, and like I don't even talk a lot. I mean, probably other people say that I do, but probably other people say that I do. But like
this episode's almost 2 hours. So
I know,
in fact,
man.
you do talk a lot.
90% of it is you. Just so you know.
Right. Well, who's asking the questions? Okay. But yeah, no, it's not really for like everybody, But that's cool. That's good though that you're a really good listener. So yeah, man.
We do appreciate.
We do appreciate that.
In fact, actually, we appreciate you so much that I asked because I was gonna write it myself.
Oh my goodness.
I was gonna write it myself, but I asked Chat GPT to write a poem about Levi.
No,
you want to see what it came up with?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay, this is the poem that it came up with.
Oh no. Let's see.
And it's called Levi, the King, the
CrossFit
CrossFit King of
Tucson
Tucson Town. His muscles bulge, his grunt so profound. He'll make you sweat, he'll make you huff, but you'll be laughing because Levi is tough stuff. He'll have you lifting, jumping, and more, and you'll be sore, but you'll come back for more, and that's so true. Because Levi's class is like a comedy hour. With his jokes and puns, you'll forget the power. He'll have you doing burpees till you drop, but you'll be laughing so hard you'll forget to stop. He's the best trainer in Tucson, that's for sure. Because with Levi around, you'll be fit and pure.
Wait, I have one more, and I want Levi to read
Know
this.
so much about me.
Yeah.
Can you
see?
just do one more, and I'll have Levi read it?
Okay.
Can you just put an ode to Cranch?
Okay. Wait. I can't.
Come on, Aaron.
No, I zoomed in too much, so I gotta try to get back to the prompt.
We'll end on an ode to Cranch.
Okay, right.
And Mayo Chup.
Ode to
This is quite
Cranch.
this is quite the throwback.
Oh, jeez.
Hey man, at least the water didn't spill. What? Oh. Okay.
It's generating now.
It's generating.
It's trying to generate.
Hey man, that was a nice poem though.
I thought so too. Thought it did very well.
Yeah.
Huh?
I think you print that one out for me. I'll read it every morning.
Yeah. Levi, if you feel depressed, man, you can just read that poem.
Put it on your bathroom mirror. Oh, jeez. What happened?
Oh yeah, we're sorry. We only had a broken mic for you.
Yeah, maybe just hold it.
Yeah, sorry. It's not generating anything though.
Did you run out of tokens?
I don't think you can put it.
Oh
in,
no. Oh, never mind.
I
I'm
don't think
sorry.
you can put it in
I did
words.
no.
Yeah, you can't put it. It's like this cannot be described.
I messed it up. It's working. I messed it up. Sorry. It's generating a lot too.
Whoa.
It's writing a lot.
It's fitting. There's so much to say.
Cranch was created by AI. No one can make me think any different. Do you know what Cranch is?
No, what is that?
It's ketchup. Well, what is it, Levi?
I don't know. It's in the grocery store, so they have like they have all the different. It's Heinz, right? They have all the different two sauces mixed together. So they had Cranch, which was ketchup and ranch.
Okay. Oh,
They had mayo Q.
Chup. Oh,
Mayo
Mayo Q.
Chup and Mayo Q, and then they
I've heard
had
that one.
Mayo Must.
Mayo. Nah, bro. Mustard's disgusting, man.
And mayo. Mayo is disgusting.
Mayo's not that bad. It's not the worst
rap
condiment
instead of
though.
a poem, but this
An ode
Mayo-
to Cranch.
Mayo's not the
Ode
worst
to
though.
Cranch.
Mustard's
Levi.
worse, bro.
You didn't see Undercover Brother, did you? Just saying. All right. Sorry.
That's what everybody's. Okay,
And cut.
here it is. I wrote this with the help of AI. Oh, Cranch, how we love thy taste. A condiment like none other, with your zesty kick and tangy grace. You make every meal.
A brother.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know what that
What do you mean by that, AI?
That line really snuck up on me. From burgers to sandwiches to fries, you add a flavor so divine. Your unique blend of spices, oh so wise, makes our taste buds come alive. Cranch.
You are not just a sauce.
You are not just a sauce, but a way of life. It's true. With you, every meal is boss. Our love for you will always remain. You bring the heat. You bring the spice. You bring the flavor to our plate. Oh, Cranch, you are truly nice. A condiment that we celebrate.
Oh, there you go. Golf claps.
Yay.
It makes every meal a brother.
Again, what does that mean?
I have no idea.
And one day we actually do have to get Cranch, though. I mean, it's been too long.
Oh man, Cranch. Okay, I gotta try that out now.
Oh.
And Heinz makes it.
Yep.
Wow.
Just going to the condiment aisle.
And then there's
Okay.
there's
So many.
Yeah.
Have you seen the May Oreo?
The what?
No.
Yo, the what?
Look up May Oreo.
May Oreo? No, bro. May Oreo? What? That's disgusting.
We'll go out
how
on
do you
this
s-
one.
how do you s-
MAYOREO.
No, dude. A May Oreo?
That.
I gotta see this.
Here we go.
Brace yourselves.
You could have just made them. Then we could have had a.
Yeah.
And we actually have Oreos here.
In May?
Oh no.
no.
Oh no. Nah. Dude. That looks like wet paper.
It's not real. It's like a Photoshop.
Yeah.
That's the AI created flavor.
Oh no. No, that's
May Oreo
May
sauce.
Oreo, no. No,
I
that's
think that looks
disgusting.
good though. We should try that.
Oh,
serious, man?
brother?
Mayo Chup, Buffer Ranch, Honey Racha.
Honey
May-
Racha. There
and
you go.
now May Oreo. You guessed it, mayonnaise and Oreo cookies.
So there's like a crunch to it too.
I'd hope so.
There's bits in it.
Yeah. Nah, dude, that's disgusting.
Well, there you go.
Wow.
Two Crazy Scoops podcast with your host Ao and Tino.
Subscribe to the Sidekicks podcast, y'all.
Subscribe to the Sidekicks.
Just go on YouTube, type in the Sidekicks podcast. Subscribe to our channel, please.
And start
That'd be so
deadlifting, other's Levi will come and find you.
good. Yeah, right?
Oh, don't forget to check out CrossFit Cure Tucson. Come, Levi will let you in for free for a class.
For free?
Everybody show up.
We sponsored.
And eat some Crunch, y'all, because you know why? Because it makes you feel like a brother.